When you communicate with functions, when you call them from other code, you often want to pass values to them. Now the values that you pass are called the arguments, and they're declared in the function header as one or more parameters. Now the terms argument and parameter are often mixed by programmers, and sometimes you talk about the argument list or the parameter list in the function header, but strictly speaking we should really call the arguments the values that are passed and the parameters the names as they are declared in the function header. Let's have a look at an example. Here in the onClick section of the button declaration in my HTML code, I pass the argument user_name.value, that's the value that's been entered into the text field, to the run function's function. Well, it's received up here and I call it a name. The name of the parameter declared in the function header does not have to match the name that was sent as an argument, but it does have to match the type of the argument, and if there are more than one argument sent, then there have to be the same number of parameters declared in the function header. So let's have a look what happens to a name. It goes first of all to the show hello name function, because that's where it's passed as an argument. So we go up here, let's have a look in show hello name, and here it's received by the a name parameter. Now the fact that it's called by the same name both down here and up here is not significant. What is significant is that it has to be the right type and the right number of parameters. If I change this to some other name and refer to it by that same name within the function code, it will work just the same. So it doesn't matter what it's called in the calling code and in the receiving code, the names don't have to match. Now in many languages the parameters are typed, so you'd have something like string declaring the type of the parameter. In JavaScript you don't have to declare the type, so it's up to the programmer to make sure that when you call the functions that the type is correct. So let's see what happens next. Show hello name finishes executing, and the flow of control, the next line that executes, goes back to the run functions function, which called the show hello name function. This now calls capitalize initials, and again it passes that parameter to it. So now this function executes. It does something to the parameter. Remember, this is the function that changes the case of the string, and it assigns a value to a local variable called new name, and that is the value that's returned. So that value is now, the returned value is now assigned to capitalize name. Now you can think of each function as being a little world unto itself. So in order to get at values outside the function, so for example these three variables here exist inside the function, but a name comes from outside. So in order to get at those values, they are passed into the world of the function. And I'll explain more about that in the next video on scope.